let me get my life. You see, when you're doing all kinds of stuff, you ain't even getting it right at all. Can't even turn up my background music without the damn thing getting flagged on Facebook. It is so sensitive there, yo. Like, freaking sensitive. But welcome to TLR again, and I'll be checking out all my chitter chatter rooms, and I guess because I just started, looking a little bit empty there, and would like to fill that soon. So I got off. I did say I'm gonna be on online tonight. So here I am. Thanks for the opportunity. Let's thank the man up above, right, for yet another opportunity to be here tonight. It's been a wonderful weekend. Hope everyone had a wonderful weekend, right? We was here Saturday night. Yes, Saturday night. I hope I'm right. We had a wonderful show. That one was on the longer side. I think that was like a 3.5 hour show on Saturday night. Saturday night, 3.5 hour show. And I hope that one was good enough. Please go check it out on Facebook. TLR, Tech Love and Relations. It's on Facebook. Check it out. We had a wonderful long show. It was really long. And I hope that again, as I said, everyone had a wonderful weekend. Hope you enjoyed the game. Sorry for the loss. I was going for the Bengals, and sadly, let me see. Hold on. Because I was getting mixed report one day. I didn't get to watch the game. Let me just research that so I can make sure that I am saying the right thing. So the Rams won. Okay, okay, so that was close. Okay, to a 23-20 game. So sorry to everyone that picked on the Bengals. I talked to a few folk that was caring for the underdog. I heard they've never won before, or it's been a long time since they have won. But they were the underdog coming into the competition, and yeah, they were the underdog coming up in the Super Bowl pretty much, yeah. And people were literally going for them. And sorry for the loss, but anyway though, I guess better luck next time around. Right. So anyway, tonight we have some interesting things that we want to talk about. We got some tech news today. First, we got Windows 11 first big update with Android taskbar changes and more. That's from The Verge. We also have fraudster using bots to drain cryptocurrency account. I'm gonna read a little story. I think this one took place in Maryland. The also one that we have tonight that we are gonna talk about is a viral video that went on TikTok talking about a secret button being on the iPhone, right? Also, the other one that we'd like to get to is Intel is officially in the Bitcoin mining business now. They want to try to make some ASICs, which are devices that accelerate Bitcoin mining. The other one we have is Google Assistant for the Android Galaxy Watch 4. It's still just a few months away. So just a few tech news we're going to talk about. Those we're going to elaborate pretty much on those. And I hope that this will be interesting enough pretty much for us to get going. Also, for the main topic on relations tonight, we'll be talking about gender gap, what it is, right? We're going to talk about what gender gap is, which is the difference between men and women, especially reflected in social, political, intellectual, cultural, and economic, right, attainments or attributes. So we're going to, just brush over a few of those things, and then we're going to focus mainly on the relationship point of view or point of what gender gap is. So I want to reflect, we want to talk about it. I'm going to stay on that topic for a while. And the thing about it is that because gender gap is, it speaks of so much different things, especially within the social attribute of it. We are literally going to have more than one show pertaining to gender gap pretty much. So yes, we're gonna have a multiple show because this one cannot fit pretty much in one show. So with different styles and all that in the future, I hope, right? So yeah. So that's and the other thing that I wanna mention was about I had 2 nights going on there talking about the demonstration in Canada, and the invasion, or not invasion, I don't want to say invasion, that's incorrect, the possibility of Russia invading Ukraine. So I'm gonna just brush over that pretty much in the last part of the show, right? So yeah, if you wanna go ahead and just start to talk about the tech news first. So Windows 11, the first big update drivers with Android app taskbar and changes, right? So it's Microsoft is releasing the first big update to Windows 11 today. It include a lot of new additions. A public preview of the Android apps on Windows will be available today in the US alongside a redesigned Notepad and the media player. So they're gonna redesign the Notepad and the Windows media player pretty much. The first big Windows 11 update will also include a bunch of improvement for the taskbar. This one is on The Verge. So it said the public preview of Android apps on Windows 11 will allow users to install apps from the Amazon App Store. I'm wondering why not the Google Store, since it's a far much bigger store. Anyway, there's a limited number of Android apps compared to the broader Google Play Store, but there are workarounds to get it, so that's good. It said the biggest changes in Android 11 updates are related to the taskbar. Time and date will finally be available on multiple monitors in Windows 11, something that was missing at launch. The weather widget also returns to the taskbar, which is good. I like that, right? A new mute unmute feature in the taskbar will be available for Microsoft Team calls. Okay, that's good. You'll also be able to quickly screen share a specific app or window from the taskbar directly into Microsoft Teams call. So I guess Microsoft Teams is actually a different option to Zoom, right? Microsoft will also redesign the Windows Media Player and Notepad for Windows 11. Notepad will now include multi-step undo, which that's fabulous because I really would want that since I use the app so much, right? It's also said an improved search interface and dark mode support. Okay, that's cool. Now let's move on to the media player. The new media player in the app is designed to replace Groove Music, in which I think it sucked. Windows Media Player for me personally was something that I used a lot back in the days, in the 2000s. It was an awesome software until they throw it away pretty much in Windows 10. That sucks. So I'm glad they're bringing back something, because Groove Music is just plain. It's simple, easy to use, but it sucked. I mean, Windows Media Player was awesome. I like the little thing that they had, the visualizations. I used to love the visualizations that they had. It said the new Media Player app is designed to replace Groove Music, and Windows Media Player includes support for both audio, video, and a design that better matches Windows 11's user interface improvement. So I guess probably an overall fresh look, but I hope it has some more, underneath software overall. let's move on. Say Microsoft, while Microsoft moved to an annual feature update cadence for both Windows 10 and Windows 11 recently, the first big Windows 11 won't be the only one this year. Instead, Microsoft will add new features to Windows 11 more frequently. So that's good. Over time, you will see us release new features into Windows 11 for end users more frequently in addition to our annual update. Okay, so that's good. Windows says Windows, so that's pretty much coming from the chief. What's his name? I want to make sure that I get his name right. Panos Panay. We will leverage the Windows variety of updates mechanism we have in place, including servicing the Microsoft Store updates. Our goal is to deliver continuous innovation, providing you with the best experience year round. So that's coming literally from Microsoft. Microsoft is planning to test a new experimental Windows 11 feature with users throughout 2022, with secret features like wallpaper stickers and tablet mode updates already in testing. So more is to come. All right, so yeah, I like that, especially for the notepad. You'll be surprised, guys. You'll be surprised, literally, how notepad is useful in Windows when you use it. So fast to jot notes, cut and paste, and all that stuff. I like that it's coming with a new dark mode to it. I think that's really useful, especially when working within the hours or in the nighttime, stuff like that. It's really useful for them to do so. Yes, the other thing that I'm glad that they're trying to pretty much revive is the Windows Media Player. Again, as I said, in the 2000s when I was using it, it was just so awesome, right? I think it was just, again, I love as a kid using it in the early 2000s. I freaking enjoyed the heck out of it. Hold on a second. Something is not right. Hold on. I'm a one-man army right here. Hold on. Guys on Facebook, yeah, I never hit the go like button. But anyway, we gotta move on. Oh yeah, before we move on, yeah. So the visualizations was so awesome though back in the early 2000s using Windows Media Player. I mean, I've used it to listen to music. Love the visualization. Love the software layout. Love how it scanned through the folders to get the song. Love how it could organize the list of the song based on the names, the hierarchy of the folder that the songs were in. And stuff. I love the way how Windows Media Player worked. And then back then we used to, the CDs I could rip music off the CDs that I bought, or I could burn on for a new copy made for myself. So I love the way how Windows Media Player was, and it's good to see that they're actually making a wonderful improvement since they had passed away the software a while back, right? So yeah, it is lovely to see that they are making some changes, and I would love for them personally, I would love for them to drop the groove music, because I don't really think it makes sense at all. It's just, yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Fraudsters are using bots to drain cryptocurrencies account. Oh man, I was reading this earlier and it's kind of a little scary, but I gotta read it to let everyone that's in crypto, making their investment in crypto right now. I'm gonna read this one, so take it seriously, because you can be the next victim. All right. It said that Dr. Andreas Apgar was out for dinner last month, right? So literally, this doctor right here and his wife got hacked. But I'm gonna read for you and tell you what happened. So you gotta listen. Listen this one right here. It said Dr. Anders Apgar was out for dinner last month with his family, and his phone would not stop buzzing. It looked like a robocall, right? So he tried to ignore it, but the calls wouldn't stop. Then his wife's phone started to ring. When she picks up, a banner came across, a notification says your account is in jeopardy. He said, right? The warning in which he said was a text message prompting him to pick up his phone. Then when the couple's that's when the couple's nightmare started. It said in a kind of nightmare, many crypto account holders around the country are facing as hackers target a boom industry, cybersecurity expert says. The AppGuards, who are both Maryland-based obstetrician, I hope I'm saying that right, began investing in cryptocurrency several years ago. By December, their account had grown to about 106,000. Hold on, guys. It said by December, their account had grown to about $106,000, mainly held in Bitcoin. And like millions of investors across the country, their account is in Coinbase. So Coinbase is a widely used crypto app used for investment. You can also use a version of it called Coinbase Wallet. It's the country's largest cryptocurrency platform, so a lot of people use it, right? Most time when they get into it, people will recommend using Coinbase pretty much. But anyway, the AppGuards when AppGuard picked up the phone, a female voice said, "Hello, welcome to Coinbase Security Prevention Line. We have detected an unauthorized activity due to a failed login attempt on your account. This was requested from a Canada IP address. If it's not you, please press 1 to complete the precaution recovering your account." The call lasted about 19 seconds. So again, based on the call that he got, now think about this for a second. Let's pause for a second and talk about it. He was out with his wife, right? They hit up her phone, and then his phone was going off, then her phone started going off. Then they answered the question, because sometime from some of these companies you will get a phone call. But check this out, they call him, right, from Coinbase, saying that they are from Coinbase. They call him pretty much and said that they have detected an unauthorized activity due to a failed login attempt on his account. So I mean, this seemed legit. And then it also tell him a location. It said this was requested from a Canada IP address. Now anyone would start to freak the heck out. It also says if it's not him, press 1 to complete the following precaution recovering his account, and the call just lasted 19 seconds. I mean, these hackers are getting freaking sophisticated, and this is pretty much a way to beat the two-factor authentication. So they literally, they're getting freaking complicated about it. Hold on a second, and we get back into it. All right. So he said, let's continue to read. He said he cannot remember if he manually entered his two-factor authentication code or if it came automatically on his screen. But what happened in that moment led to his account being locked in less than 2 minutes. Wow! As AppGuard has not regained access, he said he assumes the fraudster stole most, if not all, the crypto, but he can't be sure. It was a dread and emptiness of just, oh my gosh, I can't get this back, he said. Man, that's a terrible situation. The AppGuards were targeted by a particular insidious type of fraud that takes advantage of two-factor authentication, or 2FA. People use 2FA, or second level of security, that often involve a passcode to safeguard a range of accounts at crypto exchanges, banks, or anywhere else they carry out digital transactions. This type of fraud goes right into a two-factor authentication authentication code, and it uses people's fear of their account being hacked against them. In taking into action they think will protect them, that actually exposes themselves as thieves. So with that right there, what I wanted to do is just pause a second, because this right here can happen to anybody at all, anyone at all, any one of us. The thing about it is that we are being encouraged by social media and mainstream media to use two-factor authentication, because it's the most safest and secure way to deal with our digital currency, our money, our bank account, stuff like that, right? And to show how these hackers, these thieves have leveled up, you have to be careful. The thing about it though, before I recommend anything at all, let's finish reading this report right here, this article right here. It said the fraud tool is called a one-time password, or OTP bot. A report, so they put something in this phone, right? It said a report produced by Florida-based cybersecurity firm and CNBC contributor Q6 Cyber said the OTP bots are driving substantial losses for financial and other institutions. The damage is hard to quantify now because the bot attacks are relatively new. The bots calls are crafted in a skillful manner, creating a sense of urgency and trust over the phone. The calls rely on fear, convincing the victims to act to avoid fraud in their account, right? The report said the scam works in part because the victim are used to providing a code for authentication to verify account information. At first listen, robocalls can sound legitimate. Wow. Especially if the victim has hurried or distracted by other things at the moment the calls come in. What the heck? Oh the heck, man. Let's continue to read. It's human nature, said Jessica Kelly, a Q6 cyber analysis who authored the report. If you receive a call that tells you someone's trying to sign into your account, you're not thinking, well, I wasn't trying to. I mean, I even me myself, I've gotten those, say, someone have hacked into your so-and-so account, please enter or change your password. But because I'm aware of what's going on, guys, you cannot move too fast. It's really hard to tell, but you have to take the time to think before you change any password. It said while there's no official estimate on the amount of crypto stolen, Kelly said fraudsters routinely brag on Telegram about how to tell bots that how well the bots have worked, netting for each user thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars in crypto. The cost of the bots ranges from $100 a month to $4,000 a lifetime for a lifetime subscription. So man, they selling these things. They are, I mean, like guys, they selling the heck out of these things, yo. Oh man. All right, let's continue to read. So they're selling the bots pretty much. They said, let's continue to read. Before the OTP bots, a cyber criminal would have to make that call himself, Kelly said. They would have to call the victim and try to get them to divulge their personal identifiable information or bank account PIN or their two-factor passcode. And now with these bots, that whole system is just automated and scalable is that much larger. Once a victim inputs that two-factor authentication code or any other information that they request, the victim put into their phone, the information gets sent to the bot, Kelly said. The bot then automatically send it to the cyber criminal, who then access the victim's account. Man, that's crazy. She said said criminals could potentially steal everything, because with these transactions, they can do them one after the other until the amount is basically drained. In a statement to CNBC, a Coinbase spokesperson said Coinbase will never make unsolicited calls to its customers. Let me say that again. In a statement to CNBC, Coinbase spokesperson said Coinbase will never make unsolicited phone calls to its customers, and we encourage everyone to be cautious when providing information over the phone. If you receive a call from someone claiming to be from a financial institution, whether Coinbase or your bank, do not disclose any of your account details or security codes. Instead, hang up and call them back at an official phone number listed on the organization's website. So that's a warning, guys. That is a warning. Please don't act too quickly, unless you're gonna get you behind in trouble. Call back, especially if you gotta be suspicious. Businesses in America don't call you after certain hours, and I'm gonna get that hour that pretty much is cut off by law for business to call you, right? And if you get a phone call, hang up and call back, as the spokesperson said from Coinbase. Hang up and call back at an official number that is posted on the business's official website. All right, don't act immediately. Don't get frightened. Calm down. Take a second, because it could be again letting that information or divulging that information out. Again, and this is pretty much a warning. It said, and immediately it was an electronic voice that told me it was Coinbase fraud department. He said, and I immediately turned to the lawyer sitting next to me and said, start videoing. I know instantaneously what this was and what was it going to be. So he also said that he wishes that he would have never answered the phone. To make matters worse, he has been unable to get his account access restored. When CNBC reached out to Coinbase about the app guards regarding access to their account, a company spokesperson said this matter was turned over to its security team. AppGuard said Monday that he had just responded to an email from Coinbase to help restore access to his account. Customer service at Coinbase had been a widespread problem, CNBC found out last year. Customers around the country said hackers were draining their account, but when they turned to Coinbase for help, they could not get a response. After the store, Coinbase set up a phone support line to help customers, but even that has been fraud with problems. So I also said if he could have done anything differently, AppGuard said it's simple: not answer the phone. So this story is very, very, it's sad, and but it's also very serious, not something to be taken lightly. Why is it so? Why is it not something that we gotta be to be taken lightly? It's because it can happen to any one of us. Again, the hackers, the scammers, they are taking advantage of the booming cryptocurrency industry. It's a brand new industry, and they are literally stoking it and just messing with people and taking people's property and stuff like that. So it's very important that we learn when we get these phone calls, these text messages or phone calls. Do not act suddenly. Don't respond to them if you have to. Wait for the next business day and call the business at their official number. Get their official number. You can Google it, go online, or go directly on the website. The business should have a direct phone line for you to call if you run into any problems. Because even me myself, I've gotten those messages and I don't act on it. So not to say that not to act, but you have to ensure that it is real. Not not something that is fraudulent. Alright? So very important, guys. Very important. I hope y'all listen to that story right there and y'all heard what y'all supposed to do. Alright, so the next thing that I want to talk about. Alright, so this user on TikTok, it said secret button on iPhone goes viral on TikTok. This is from Settle Times. Credit to Settle Times. TikTok users show 1 million viewers how to use the iPhone feature that's been around since 2020, right? So a secret button is on the iPhone pretty much. Wow, okay. It's after a viral TikTok, iPhone users are discovering their device has one more button than they thought. One more button than they thought. And it can make their lives easier. You're using an iPhone wrong, TikTok creator Ellie Wassom Tech says, if you aren't willing to utilize the secret button on the back of your phone. So I think the button is pretty much right there on the logo, and you can actually customize that button. It said the creator highlights the back top feature on the iPhone, which is available for any devices running at least iOS 14. That particular update was released in September 2020. It also allows users to simply tap the back of their phone near where the Apple logo is, and their phone will do whatever feature they've programmed it to do through the settings menu. Right? If I had an iPhone, I'd probably try to show you where it's at. It said you can set the back top feature to open the camera. So the button on the back of the phone, you can set it to open the camera, take a screenshot, turn on the flashlight, or even control the volume up or down. This TikTok creator uses the back top feature to easily Shazam whatever song or art they're playing. I mean, that is useful, right? Here, you got Shazam. I'm sure everybody know how to use Shazam if you use the product. But Shazam is pretty much an app that you use to get the name of a song that you hear currently playing. So if you hear a song on the radio somewhere, like you're sitting in the store and you're hearing the song playing, then you can just hold your phone up to the speaker and then you can Shazam it, and then you get the name of the song and stuff like that. It's really a useful tool. I always like Shazam. When that feature came, I was like, wow, this is neat right here. Because sometimes you hear certain songs, you want to know the name of the artist, the name of the song, and stuff like that. So Shazam is a very popular app used by a lot of people. Anyway, it says, hold on a second. Yeah, here we go. It says how to use the secret button. It says make sure you have updated your iPhone to at least iOS 14. Then go into settings, right? Scroll down to accessibility. Go to touch. And then on the bottom, hit back top. You can choose whatever you want to enable at 2 tap or 3 tap or both. Then choose from the option to pick what the secret button can do for you. After you've got your choices locked in, you simply double or triple tap the back of your phone to activate the feature. This says the discrete button even works when a phone case is on the device. Even though this isn't a new feature, many say this is the first they have heard of the time-saving technique. I see a lot of hack videos and never use them. I immediately went to enable this. One user commented. So yep, button on the back of the phone. Button on the back of the phone. So yep, again, let me say it again. Let me say it again. If you want to use that feature, I think it's a neat feature though. I think it's a neat freaking feature. I mean, probably I know you can do something similar with the power button. All right, next news. Next news, man. What the heck going on right here? I ain't see nothing. Come on, guys. Gotta hit it. Come on right here. Gotta hit it. Don't let me hanging. Next news. Intel is officially in the Bitcoin mining business now. Wow. Chip giant plans to take on ASIC devices with new Bitcoin mining chips. Intel has announced it plans to fully embrace blockchain technology and finally enter the Bitcoin mining space with brand new chips that will be available later this year. In a new blog post, chip giant explained that it has developed a roadmap of energy efficiency accelerators that will ship in 2022. Intel is also conscious of the fact that some blockchains require an enormous amount of computing power, which is why the company is focused on its effort on developing the most energy efficient computing technologies at scale, right? So far, Argo blockchain, formerly known as Square, and Grid Infrastructure are among its first customers for this new product. As the company's new architecture is implemented on a tiny piece of silicon, it will now have minimal impact to the supply of other low Intel processors. So, okay, I'm gonna take that last part right there with a grain of salt, because if they're making serious money, they're gonna transfer over some resources and materials and people. So right, let's hope that don't happen. Anyway, Intel Bonanza mine chips. In order to design and build its new blockchain hardware, Intel has created a new custom compute group that will operate under Raha Kaduri's Accelerated Computing Systems and Graphics AXG business unit. According to a report from Tom's Hardware, quite a bit is already known about the chip giant's new Bitcoin mining hardware, as the news outlet discovered a reference to its Bonanza mine chip in a listing for a presentation at this year's International Solid State Circuit Conference, ISSCC. However, Intel have already moved on to its second generation Bonanza mine chip known as BMZ2. Wow, okay. This chip will feature a specialized architecture that was specially designed to accelerate SHA-256 processing for Bitcoin mining at ultra low voltage. In fact, Intel claimed that these energy efficient chips will over 1,000 times better performance per watt than mainstream GPUs for SHA-256 based mining. Okay, so that will give them an advantage. If you can do mining at far less energy, you can actually a lot of the cryptocurrencies, a lot of the blockchain type processing can be done using proof of work. So I mean, that's not a bad idea at all. I mean, proof of work won't drain the entire grid or be too much on any existing grid at all, or anyone's paying the cash for power. It's worth noting through that GPUs are rarely used for SHA-256 mining, and Bitcoin is typically mined on a specialized process called ASICs that are designed to execute one type of workload. Still though, ASIC devices like Antminer E9 from Bitmain are often quite expensive and hard to come by. That is so true. But for y'all who don't know what ASICs are, they just specialized computers that's set up just to process and compute the Bitcoin blockchain. So I think it's an exciting thing for Intel if they say if the numbers are true based on what they show right here, then I mean it'll be really wonderful if they could do it, and then that will help to ease off some of the pressure. You know what I'm saying, on the GPU, kind of ease up some pressure off the GPU market and make the cards become more widely available for gamers and stuff like that. And it'll also lower the price of the Bitcoin mining, the ASICs, like the Antminer. It'll ease off some of the pressure and help to drive some prices low. What I hope Intel can do is flood the market with this device right here, with these new chips and computers, right? I hope that they can produce a lot of systems and do it in such an efficient manner that people actually will buy it. So yeah, I mean, it is not a bad idea. I thought, and if you really ask me, Intel wasn't paying attention as though I think it should be doing anyway. Need to pay much more attention though. But I think they should have acted quicker on it. But it's good to see that there's another major chip manufacturer going towards GPU for the Bitcoin industry, and I hope well for Intel. I hope that they can help, because again it'll drive some of the prices down for the GPUs that are being used for mining. GPUs prices are just way out of hand, and they are coming down based on the reports that I'm seeing, but it's still too slow. It's not. I hope that would have been much faster, but I think it's just still too slow, right? Just too slow. I think it's just too slow. So I hope that you know what I'm saying, it can get better. Yep, come on guys, hit the like button.
Don't be selfish. Hit the subscribe button now to TLR.
Right? I don't use my buttons that often. I need to get one of the stream deck. I want to get the big one though. I think the big one has a lot of keys to get that way I can load on some stuff, quick transitions and stuff like that. You know, I ain't got to draw for the mouse all the time to run it in OBS pretty much. So far much easier just to have a nice little stream deck with that much button. Kind of expensive though when I check the prices out. It is kind of, yeah, kind of expensive though. But hopefully in the future I can add stuff like that, you know, just to make streaming a little more natural feeling thing to do. I'd have it right on the side, right where my right arm is, you know, make it, you know, the good arm, right? The good arm, the good hands, pretty much. Yeah. So, yep, let's move on to the next news. I mean, I got another tech news that I want to talk about pretty much. Let's move on. Google Assistant for the Galaxy Watch 4. Oh, still months away. Yep, still months. Which one am I using? There's one of them that yeah. Still months away. And everyone wanted that feature though. And it's a little bit disappointing. Not even a little bit. It's a little shocking, but it's very, very disappointing that the feature haven't moved to the watches yet. Google Assistant would make so much more sense than Bixby. I don't know what the heck is Bixby. Samsung trying to push that boring old software. That should have been out with the Galaxy Watch 4. It's a Samsung Galaxy Watch 4. Let me read the article. This is from 9005 or 9 Top 5 Google. This one said Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 made the switch over to Wear OS but remained an experience that was clearly Samsung's more than Google's. Now Samsung is providing an update on Google's Assistant for the Galaxy Watch 4, saying that the promised feature is still months away from its debut. Alongside the details Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 software update, Samsung provided new information from its ongoing partnership with Google. Right? It said that includes some good news that YouTube Music will be adding the ability to stream songs instead of relying solely on downloads. The bad news to balance out though is that Samsung confirmed the Galaxy Watch 4 won't get Google Assistant for months. So I'm guessing probably they're waiting on the Pixel Watch, I guess, but companies don't just be lackadaisical when it come on to release an update that's necessary. I mean, people have been asking for this. I think they've been lackluster for a reason. They're trying to push their software, and now the thing is, Samsung, at least if they're pressured enough, they always listen to their customers eventually. But let's read further. It said Google Assistant will be available for the Watch series this coming month. Will access both Bixby and Google Assistant. Customers will be equipped with advanced voice assistant functionality to meet their various needs. This comes 6 months after the Galaxy Watch 4 series made its debut at the time Samsung said. So pretty much they're working closely with Google. It's clear that progress have been made, because I did came across something that had said that they wouldn't bother. But it's good that they're trying to get it, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully that part that I read earlier, I think that was last year I read that it wouldn't bother. Hopefully that was true. Don't take me serious on that one, but I know I did came across, and I had a video, I read an article that says it's not coming. But anyway, it says it's clear progress that have been made on bringing Google's Assistant to Galaxy Watch 4. Just given the fact that Samsung is now ready to call out the feature by name. Still, it's a bit disappointing to see that this feature, which have been on the wish list of many for months already, still has no clear timeline for its debut. So they still got a long way with it, but I think they're waiting on I believe personally, I believe that they're waiting on the Pixel Watch before they be competitive, because you don't want to have the Pixel Watch running Google's Assistant and Samsung Watch doesn't. So let's see. Let's freaking see, right? Come on, guys, like, share, and
Don't
subscribe.
Don't be selfish. Hit the subscribe button
Right
now to
now.
TLR.
So that's just pretty much a few of the tech news that I wanted to talk about. Still kind of waiting.
Don't be selfish. Hit the subscribe button now to TLR.
Still kind of waiting on some engagement. Trying to rack up some engagement. Nice to see some engagement, man. See me, I'll just hit the box. We have a network. YouTube, if you're on YouTube, thank you. Hit that box. Type comment, no spamming, but type it. I know there's a lot of spam being on YouTube though. A lot of spam in the comment, right? People don't know, stuff like that. On Facebook, ELR, hit that comment. No engagement, everything still zeroing out. Don't hesitate at all to hit it, right? Been going what? So 40 minutes or so. I've been going for about an hour now. That's quick though. And that's what it's pretty much talking about, the tech news. But I have no engagement. I guess everyone's busy. But when it looked like this empty pretty much, I generally just keep moving, just keep pressing on pretty much. I guess probably I'd have to figure out a way how to change strategy. But I want to try to understand the thing about it before you generally try to change strategy. You got to try to understand what the mistake is and how to improve or to prevent that mistake. Right? But I like engagement. Engagements are good. Like it if you can like it, subscribe to it. You know, these are engagement. The other engagement that I love is comment. Hit the comment box. Don't be scared to hit it. Say hi and I'll make sure that I acknowledge you, or you can just put it right there and put a straight face in it if you don't want to be acknowledged. But just comment, let me know if you are there. You know, I just like it. The engagement is good for the channel, it's good for the community, right? I don't want to just be sitting right here talking to myself. That sucks. That freaking sucks. I want to get into the gender gap definition, but I want to see some engagements. There you go. Thank you for the comment. Real talk. That's what I'm talking about. I like engagement, man. I like the engagement. Sometimes I want to get into the gender gap definition, but I like that engagement. You know what I'm saying? But anyone that engaged, taking that look, I definitely appreciate it. Right? And again, as I said over the weekend, that if you have an idea of what you want to see, hit me up and let me know. Doesn't matter if you're just coming on now or you see me before. Hit it up and let me know. You're welcome to do so. Right? Hit it up and let me do so. So we just went over that, some tech news stuff and all that. Let's say hit it up, man. Hit it up. Ladies, gentlemen, gentle ladies, hit it up. Throw it in the box, whatever you want we talk about before I get into gender gap. I'm gonna give it a little while before I get into gender gap talk. If you want to throw in anything, ask a question. I want to see that engagement. Good to engage. Voice your opinion. Let me know what you want to talk about, and we'll talk about it. It's not good to see a one-man team, one man yammering on, right? But I say shout out to the viewer, shout out to viewers, right? Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, everyone, shout out. Welcome, y'all. And as I said over the weekend, that I want to run things a little bit differently, right? I want to make this be a community, not just a place where you just watch. I want you to be able to come and let this be a place where if you don't feel acknowledged, come and say something, and I'll make sure I do my best. The channel is small, so it's easier to acknowledge folk and stuff like that. And as I said, when it grows, then I'll add the moderators to help to identify anyone who would like to be acknowledged and make sure that we can appreciate everyone. So again, engagement. Please hit the chat box, talk to me, and let me know. We're gonna get into gender gap. We just finished with the tech news. What we talked about in tech news, we talked about this rise on the verge. Windows 11 first big update arrives with Android apps taskbar and more changes. We also talk about crypto, the fraudsters coming up, so y'all gotta be careful, especially if you use Coinbase or Coinbase wallet. Y'all gotta make sure y'all stay careful and clear, right? The other thing that we also talk about, which is a little more interesting, is the secret button on iPhone. You can check out that video on TikTok that's going viral, right? You can check it out and see where the secret button, I think that's the one on the back of the phone, right there, close to the, I think it's on the logo itself, the Apple logo itself. Yeah, you can actually customize that button. A lot of people don't know about it. The other thing that we also talked about was Intel going into the crypto Bitcoin mining business, making chips for them. And I think that is so awesome. That is so awesome. For anyone buying graphics card, y'all know the pain. Y'all know the pain if you're trying to get a graphics card, right? So again, don't hesitate at all. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. And I hope y'all watched the game over the weekend. I never got to, but the Rams 23, the Cincinnati, the Bengals 20. And I really wanted the underdogs to win. We gonna get back to that after I finish with the gender gap. I'm gonna move into gender gap pretty much. Come on, let's engage, guys. Engage. Engage. Don't be doing this. Don't be doing all that. It's like this right here. Right? It's like that. Right? So so we can't have that. We wanna more. Right? We need more of that. Let's the kids know better. Let's do that again. Engage. Right? Engage. Come on. Did I add another happy one? Come on, I'm gonna do the baby squeak. I remember when we just started the channel, the baby squeak. Oh man, yep, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I like that. Engagement. I love engagement. Let's see if we can add another one. I think there's another one. Nah. Yeah, there we go. Man, my buttons got dust on them, yo. I haven't pressed them in a long time. Let's hit that one again. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You want more of that? I want to sit right here by myself. Come on, baby squeak, right? Give me some more of that. That's what I like. Anyway, let's get into gender gap. I see you. Thank you. I see you. Let's get into gender gap. What the heck is gender gap? Gender gap is wide, guys. So I want to kind of narrow it down. And as I said earlier, that is something that we have to revisit again. I cannot talk about the gender gap in its entirety in this show. So it has to be something that we visit. So what is it? It said it's the difference between men and women, especially as reflected in social, political, intellectual, cultural, or economic attainments or attitudes. Yep, that's what it talks about. Social, political, intellectual, cultural, or economic attainments or attitudes. So that's pretty much in a nutshell what it is. And then because it got the social and cultural and all that stuff in it, we have to focus. What I want to focus on is in the social aspect of it, where it pertains to relationships. Hold on a second, let me get this bad boy right here. There we go. All right. So that's pretty much the definition. And as I said, I want to make sure that I hold on a second. Yeah, it's so unprofessional. So unprofessional. Freaking unprofessional. But I like the unprofessionalness though. Kind of add that level of realism to the whole thing of what's going on right here. You know? But I did line up my topics and everything, but every now and again, you know, these things wanna be funny, right? The type that I want to really refer to though, let me wait until this thing gets itself together. The type of it is a social aspect where it pertains to relationship. The gap are widening in terms of the relations. And the reason why I want to talk about it or raise that awareness about it is because as male and female separate with a lot of issues, it's becoming much more difficult. It drives up the separation between man and woman. So what we're finding in today's society, because opportunities, you know, for especially for the women, are increasing. We're finding now that gender gap is also increasing, which creates a inverse proportion when you look at the number of marriages, relationship, and families, right? So while we're winning in one area, they're losing in the other, and that's the part about it that I want to talk about. So as equality gets better, marriages get worse. Oh man, can't win in everything pretty much. You know, that's just part of human civilization, part of the society, nature, all that stuff. So can't win in every direction, but we have to talk about the issue. And it has become so much of an issue, and it's been gone so far. A second, trying to work this thing right here. I sure hope it works. I'm trying. But as these things are getting better on one side and worse than on the next, the question is left to ask: what's gonna happen with what we want for the result of what's getting worse, right? And when we talk about these things, we want to raise that awareness, and then try to insert a tool or a mechanism to help to reduce the negative effect of gender gap. We want to reduce those effects because it affects us in such a manner that it doesn't affect us only on an individual level, but it affects beyond what we are now. It affects our children. For example, our children, right? It affects our children in such a way that because most children will grow up without mother and father. Because the thing about it is that, let's talk about one of the most controversial part about it. As women get more opportunity, it takes away from the natural their what I refer to as their natural role. And one of women's natural role is nurturing. So when I actually go ahead and try to do some research on it and try to read, I spend a number of hours reading about, even there's an article that talks about the paradox of women's happiness, and I've actually looked at the curves when it talks about the paradox of women's happiness, and women's happiness tends to fall in line when they play more along with their natural or within their natural role. As they operate or perform within their natural role, starting at a young age, when we look at the curve of women's happiness, right? It generally starts high, then it goes down, and then it goes high again as they get in their latter years. But as when I take a look at the gender gap, and I look at the opportunity, right, such as the economic opportunities for women, as these things rise, you start to see a fall off within the woman's happiness curve. Oh man, that's thing, and it hasn't loaded as yet. Yeah, you start to see a fall off within the natural, within their happiness curve. And that does explain a lot. There's still a lot of research being done. This is not a final or conclusive research, but there's research. There's a number of researches that are still being done in looking at the paradox of women's happiness. But again, so far, what I've taken a look at is to see how it affects how as women get more opportunities to do things, how as they get more opportunities, how does these opportunities affect them. So for example, one of the simplest analogy that I like to use when I talk about stuff like this, especially to the family and stuff like that, is well, let's take a guy for example, right? No, let's take another lady for example. Let's say Lady A and Lady B. If Lady A is a simple person, usually there's a name for people who are very, very simple. I can't remember the name, but if anyone knows the name of people who keep it real simple, please comment in the box and let me know. But anyway, you have Lady A, very, very simple lady, right? And then you have Lady B. Have a lot of clothes. Both of them getting up, they going to work. Lady A, she's simple. She have one suit that she get up and wear for most mornings when she's going to work. And Lady B, she have a number of choices that she can make within the closet. So they both getting ready to go to work, and one of them have one set of clothes to wear. Lady B, which is the other one, has a number of choices. Studies have shown that even though you have more opportunities and more choices, it is not directly proportional to being more happy, especially when it comes to money. But anyway, before we get into that, Lady A, she gets up, she gets ready for work, She take her one and only suit, she puts it on, she leave out when she's finished. Reach to work literally on time every day because of this. Lady B, right? She have a number of choices. She have a large number of clothes that she can choose from blouses, bottom or or pants, work pants and stuff like that, shoes, and then she have a large thing of makeup to go through, right? It's gonna take her a little more time, and it can also add to a layer of stress. Where am I trying to get at? Women are being placed in a position that they are expected to perform as well as men. Why is that so? Well, they have fought for that. That's one reason. They have fought for it. And the common workplace must and have to give them those opportunities. So they have fought for that pretty much. And given those opportunities, what it does, especially for mothers, it add to having more so more opportunities equal more responsibilities. And as it adds to those responsibilities, it pulls them from operating outside of one of their natural role, and that's nurturing. So a mother, she have to work a job, come home, clean the house, take care of the kids, and stuff like that. And it also takes away from their happiness. It pulls away from their happiness. It pulls away from their happiness because even though it opens up more opportunity, but it also pulls out from their happiness. Why? Because there's a large platter of responsibilities, or added responsibilities that they have to add to their daily routines. Hold on, trying to get this thing going. So as a takeaway from their happiness, one of the things that I want to more dig into is that it take away from their connection with the opposite sex. It takes away in their social life, takes out of their social life because they have to go to work. But was it this way 60 years ago? No, it wasn't. It wasn't this way 60 years ago when women had less opportunities. The primary opportunity that women had 60 years ago was what? Their families. 60 years ago, women had to worry about their families. For example, you take the typical 20-year-old woman. 60 years ago, a 20-year-old woman had an entire family to take care of. Generally, they should have had 2-3 kids by that time. By the time she's 25, she had maybe like 6 kids or so at 25, 6-7 kids at 25 or so, right? A little more, a little less. I'll say probably a little less. But with limited opportunities, that's what they had. That's what they rolled into. That's part of their natural role, nurturing. But because they're operating outside, as I said, how does it transcribe for their happiness? How does it affect the happiness curve? Well, for the typical woman, 60 years ago, as she get older and the kids are getting older, she had her grandkids to look forward to. So what helped to increase women's happiness was the structure of family. Family. It's the ultimate connection that plays a big part within human nature. Family, socialization, teaching. I think it's Titus. If for some of y'all who are Christians and read the Bible, in Titus it talks about mothers being the first person to transmit knowledge from one generation to the next. The Bible talks about these things. For thousands of years, women had operated within the natural role of being mothers, and that entitled for their happiness. They know what to expect. They knew what to do because they have been taught that way, right? They have been taught that way for thousands of years. But modern women, though they fought for and they're still fighting for equal opportunities, and they are winning, and that's a beautiful thing. I support women winning. But what's not winning is their happiness when they get older. All right? Gender gap is increasing because, again, the more these opportunities take place, are more responsibilities. So women are expected to help dig the trenches now. They have to go out there and they have to dig those trenches. They have to work really hard. And they have to worry about paying bills and stuff like that. And the thing about it is that society set up. Let's look into the glim. I hate to be the doomer of it, but we have to talk about it. That way, the earlier you know what's wrong, the more opportunity you get to change. So there is a Y section. So women are limited by one factor, and that's time, nature. Women have they have to decide what they are going to do because they have a thing called a wall that women hit. And that's when the body starts to make certain changes, right? So these are added stresses that a modern day woman have to deal with. And that wall that they have to deal with, our time running out, is that as they get older, the beauty their body change, the eggs getting older, the beauty they age out. For men, it's a little bit different. Men can start families way late in life. For women, it's not as simple. They have a time factor that challenges them. And that time factor is their own body. It ages, it gets older, the eggs get older, the body gets older. So for example, that's why doctors say at 35, anything beyond that point, it ain't good. So your doctor checkups have to be more. You have to do more visits because your risk gets higher. Is what some doctors refer to as geriatric pregnancy, because the eggs are older, the body is older. And generally, most women over 25, if you have kids over 25, you're not getting out of that pregnancy. It's some type of complication. So when modern day women talk about 30s, the new 20, I say BS to that. I say BS to that. Do what you're doing from now. That way, at least when you reach a certain age, then it's much easier compared to if you're starting a family too late. It's very difficult. Prime years are better. They are called prime years for a reason. Prime years are between the ages of what? Of what? Generally in the 20s. And at around 28, for a woman is when she usually reach that wall to decide. So the wall is pretty much an age range between 28 and 35. So once it hit that crucial age range, 28 and 25, once you're beyond 28 and 35, once you move beyond 35, then whatever path that you set out, or why, you're gonna come up on a refer to as a why. Some people you'll hear on the new on Mr. Samuel's channel, what you call the danger zone, right? But professionals generally started at around 28 and 35. That's the time when you're supposed to choose whether you're gonna go with family on one side or you're gonna remain single on the other side. beyond that point, you're generally gonna spend the rest of your life. Once you move, if you start a family before 35, that's when you're generally gonna be on the side of family. When you're 35 and older, you're generally gonna stay by yourself. It's very difficult to start a brand new family at 40. So it's very, very important. And all these things tied up goes as far back, and they are related to the gender gap. The gap between the man and woman. Now, how does that affect the gap between man and woman? On the social account of it, the social side of it. Because as women have more opportunities and pushing back the prime years later and later, they become more disconnected with the social aspect, running outside or operating outside of their natural role. If you disagree, you can comment, that's fine. Ain't nothing wrong to disagree. Ain't here to agree all the time, right? Yeah, so there's a disconnect. There's a improved disconnect that based on what I've read, based on the things that I've seen, and me and a few others I've read, we've come across the gender gap to be increasing, and also what we refer to as kinless gap increasing. And kinless gap and gender gap kind of go hand in hand. They do go hand in hand in part for most of how it's structured. But for the gender gap and for the kinless gap, the kinless gap is way more simple. But what is kinless gap? Kinless gap pretty much is just people with no kins at all. Man with no kin, meaning any family member at all when they reach of a certain age, and women with no kin at all once they reach of a certain age, because most people are by themselves. We are more separated now. That's why you see, and there's a number of factors. Again, one of the factors that I try to focus primarily on is the opportunities increasing, especially for the female side of it. These are things that are gonna widen or separate. Is it good for women to get more opportunities? Oh yeah, it's beautiful, it's good, but are the end result from that is what they want? Because based on the conversation that I have with people, a lot of people, men and women, is that most people want traditional results, even though they have a modern mindset. The modern mindset is to be an independent person. And nothing is wrong with that. That's a wonderful thing to be an independent person. But when does it make sense to find a person to work with? When does a relationship make sense at all? When does the need for a given relationship helps for a person who would want one? When does the need help them for if they want it? Hold on. Come on, guys, engage. I'm like, crickets here. Crickets here. Crickets.
Don't be selfish. Hit the subscribe button now to TLR.
It's like freaking crickets. Engage. Engage. Some spicy topic right here. Oh man. Don't leave me by myself hanging. I'm not playing ATS tonight. Usually I'll be playing ATS and driving simulated trucks. Don't leave me hanging. Give me a thumbs up. Something. Need some engagement. You ain't read all these stuff for nothing. Right? I know a lot of us don't like to read at all, but I ain't read it. Why am I digging in so far and I'm literally talking to myself? I like the engagement. YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. Something. I'm gonna pause for a moment until I get an engagement. I'm gonna have a dirty song to play too. I'm gonna get a dirty song that I can play legally without getting in trouble on these networks for it. Without the copyright infringement, right? I don't want no copyright place against the channel. So I'm gonna find a nice, annoying song to play when I'm not getting no engagement. It's a community we're growing right here. We gotta say what we gotta say. If you disagree with a number of things that I just say, let me know. And we'll talk about it. The thing about it is that it's a lot to talk about, but I like the engagement though. That way, if you hear me say something and you do not agree with it at all, you can let me know right away, and then I'll try to explain it in a manner that you can. And if you don't believe what I say, if you disagree and you don't believe what I say, I can tell you where to find it. Yeah. I can tell you where to find it. So when I speak of these things, because the thing about it, why am I speaking of these things anyway? Let me step back. I'm going to pause. I'm not going further unless I finish this right. Let me say this right here. The reason why I talk about these things is because when it comes on to family, I'm a very, very passionate person. Because I understand and see the importance of family. Right? And everything that we are being taught today is to go without the family. Is to leave the family behind. So on this channel right here, I have to promote what is right, what is correct, what is the right way to do it. Because there's a right way and there's a wrong way to do it. And because we are being marketed to so much, there's an agenda for us to get it wrong. Come on now. It's a $1 billion industry set up when it comes to social media and mainstream media to ensure that we get it wrong. So if you disagree, please let me know. And I'll try my best to explain to you. If you disagree, come on. Man, I'm gonna have a lot of things that... If you don't understand, let me know too. All right, let me go and play some background music real high. Listening, TLR. Listening, TLR. Come on. Listening, TLR. Listening, listening, TLR. Listening, yeah. Listening, listening, TLR. Listening, it's 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 TLR. Listening, TLR. Listening, it's TLR. Listening, listening. Let's see. Oh no, what do you mean by two playbacks? And anyway, as I said, if you disagree, if you disagree, let me know.
Don't be selfish. Hit the subscribe button now to TLR.
Yeah, so gender gap. One of the things that I always mention about it too is also the pay gap, but that's a whole different thing we're gonna talk about. I wanna talk about the pay gap. And I'm gonna try to entwine that with the social aspect of it, the social gap, social part with it. I want to talk about those. So we're going to talk about the pay gap, what factors affect pay gap, and the social part to entwine both of them. I want to entwine or make the connection. I want to make them be connected though when I talk to them. So pay gap versus a social gap, pretty much. I want to talk about those because they do go hand in hand, and I'm gonna break it down in such a way that we can all understand. So let me know. Please let me know. There's a way that you can let me know. Oh man. Yeah, so I'm gonna talk about those on the show next time. I think I kind of like really hearing the sound of my voice when I actually talk. You know what I'm saying? As much as though I don't really have a lot of viewers at all, I still love hearing the sound of my voice. Some would say a little full of myself, or some would say I'm overconfident, you know. But I just love, you gotta love hear you first when you do these things, pretty much. You have to. Very important that one have to love to hear oneself first. Idea here is to build a talk point community. So again, like, subscribe, and share. Let's talk about the Bengals and the Rams, the Super Bowl show that has just taken place. I wanted us brush over it and then I'll finish for the night. I ain't see my man online tonight. You know, we would have, try to talk over some stuff pretty much about the game. He would have given me the update about it because I only watched piece of the game. I never really got all of it. I just had a lot of stuff that I had to do. But I'm gonna try to catch some of the highlights though. I'm a little late. For the last 2 days I've been busy. So busy that I couldn't get a chance to look at it. So a man right here tonight would be able to fill me on what went on. It's kind of tough to call though, because the points are so close. Um, 23-20. That's the point. 7 points first half, 6 points second half, 3 third, 7 fourth. So the thing about it is that in the fourth quarter, the Bengals never scored anything at all. 3 points first half, second half they did good. Second quarter they did good. Third quarter they did really good. Fourth quarter they did nothing. No points at all for the fourth. That would have really, if they had scored based on just looking at the highlight right here, right? If they had dropped something in the if even 3 points, you would have a tie up and then they would have run the game in overtime, right? Wow. So for rushing, Cam Anchors, Dara Henderson to carry 21 yards, average 1.6. Oh, and for the Bengals, a little different. Tell you what, guys, I'm gonna head off now. I'm gonna head off now. Let's do a little bit of ASMR before I get off. It's been wonderful. Hold on a second, let me record this part. One more thing before I go. It's been wonderful to hear talk oats. Love and relations. I'll see you in the next video. Make it as controversial as possible. Make it as wonderful and entertaining. Wow. Listening. It's DLR. Later, guys. I'll see you. I'm out. Man, I'm out. We'll talk. Finish up next time. Ian.